It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS.
I remember where the whole seed that was planted with recruiting and getting into and stumbling into the recruiting game was a shitty thing happened. Mm-hmm. And a shitty thing smacked us in the face where we bought a company and 15 employees walked out the next week after we took over. Donkey and I put on a hell of a show when we showed up and everybody walked out a week later.
Yeah.
And at the time it was, I remember Mike and I went out to lunch somewhere. I don't even know where. And it was just like this, holy shit, what are we doing? And I said, well, we've got two choices. We can either order a double bourbon or we can order a double bourbon. And then our second choice is we either need to remain mediocre at recruiting or we need to become world-class at recruiting. And that was it. And I look back at that several years ago in 2016, I think it was the best damn thing that ever happened to Blue Skies admin. Mm-hmm. And so I'm super thankful for a lot of shitty things that have happened over the last several years, because I have not gained more character in my entire 53 years on this planet than over the last about 3 years.
Yep.
Maybe 4 years. And it's phenomenal. And I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah. I as a parent, I struggle with that because we try to insulate our kids from bad things happening to them. And there's just always this tug of war where I'm just like, no, they need to feel the pain of the choices that they're making. We can't insulate them from the consequences of something shitty happening to them, or they don't get that, right? Like the best things in life are usually the hardest things and the things that generate the most pride. And so therefore, if you insulate somebody, and we'll see how much of a rant I go on with this, but I see it like that. I do it with my kids where I make things too easy for them. I see it with our government and with our citizens all the time too, in that when you give somebody something, there is no pride. They didn't earn it. We're very entitled, right? As a society, we're so damn entitled. It's like everybody gets a smartphone, everybody gets to this, everybody gets to that. We're taking away the privilege of earning stuff by handing out a whole lot. Now, I'm really conflicted in saying that because one of the things I'm super thankful for is like PPP loans this year. Our home cleaning businesses would have been out of business. We'd have lost 3 businesses in the last 2 years had we not gotten PPP loans. Now I say that we're business people. We'd have fucking figured it out. But we would have lost a lot of money doing it. And we would have lost a lot of employees doing it. And we would have had to make some really weird, hard choices. And we would have, because that's what we do, but we didn't have to. Now we didn't make any money for the last couple of years. We've been like building back up, but the money we did make was really like the PPP loan freeing up expenses. So in one way, I'm like super thankful for that money, but also at the same time, I'm conflicted in it, in that it didn't make us earn anything. And when you're not like earning something or going through the blood and sweat process, the blood, sweat, and tear process, I should say, you miss the pride. And the pride is the fuel that keeps you going in the character building, right? I do now, like when COVID first happened, there was a lot of character building. I don't know if you remember when we got back from Dallas, shit hit the fan, right? And so our leadership team had like 3 meetings a week. I think we were doing, were we even doing multiple meetings a day at one point? I forget. But I was like locked. I was quarantined. I was like locked in my bedroom. I couldn't go anywhere. And all I could do was work on our business and think about all of the contingency plans for anything that could possibly have happened and apply for a whole bunch of government money. Got a lot of time spent filling out silly ass applications. But in hindsight, like tons of character building, trying to work through a catastrophe, and catastrophes suck. But like you said, when the chips are down, that's when you can show what you're made of. And when you get through stuff like that, that's the thing that you're most proud of and that fuels you forward. Yeah. And man, like I said, with my kids, I just wonder if I make their life too easy. Like if they have access to too many things and they don't have to earn it, and they just get it. And I see it in their behaviors all the time, how entitled they feel like they are and how demanding they are of like, I need this and I want that. And it's like, like I taught them that shit, you know? Yeah. So yeah, man, it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
There's a lot there that you said that we can talk for hours on. One of the things that you do, I mean, you're proud of your kids when you see them crawl. You're proud of them when they walk, and then you get really scared when they can run. You know,
Yep.
And they can climb, and they can jump, and they can swim, and they do all these things. And that's just, you know, the problems get worse and worse. I've got a 14-year-old daughter with a new male friend sitting in my living room above this basement right now, for example. All right? For one freaking example. So yeah, there's a lot more to worry about. So along with that, it's a matter of, you know, hey, you do the best you can. I am a firm believer that everybody makes their own life. All I can do is say, this is what I think is right. This is what I think is wrong. This is what I know is right. And this is what I know is wrong. You take it from there, Junior, because you know right from wrong. Now I've done my job. I'll support you. I'll love you forever. And I let the chips fall, you know, to sit and stare at a ceiling. You'll do it, but it doesn't help them, you know? So that's one thing. In this entitlement thing, to me, I just filled out an application. I emailed you because I need you as a reference.
Yeah, I saw that. I got to get on that.
So one of the questions on that thing was, what is society's role in helping our most vulnerable citizens? Which I would first start and say, we need to define what vulnerable means, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
we can sit here and have that debate again for about an hour.
Yeah.
But I'm one of these guys. I'll be very honest. I am extremely conservative, political wise, with money, and with military, with police. I am extremely liberal with social things. I want freedom for your choices to do things that you want to do in this country. Okay. With that said, there are certain people in our society, and I've come to learn this and I've come to understand it better the older I get and the more I see and the shittier things I see in life. The vulnerable isn't just, a poor child that doesn't have parents, okay, an orphan kid. There's people that are addicted to things, and I saw it in Las Vegas when you walk down that strip, and they are mentally not there. They have no choice in their life. And yet they're free and they're out sitting in a corner, and that's vulnerable, man. That person needs help. I don't know if he's a drug addict and lived and had a silver spoon in his mouth all his life. I don't know. I don't know if he came back from war and that's how he is. I do know that I'm very thankful for having an open mind.
Yeah.
Having an open mind to every one of God's children that comes my way. And, I do the best I can. If you don't like it, I don't give a shit. I really don't anymore, because if I do, when I used to, it used to drive me nuts, and I'd sit there and I'd be talking to this guy named Sean, or at least his mind and his thoughts. And both of us would sit there and argue about it, and it drove me nuts. So now I don't do that anymore. I just do the best I can and the chips fall. That's it.
No, I love what you said about having an open mind too, because in order to even make that statement, like, you have to be open-minded enough to have that thought. And for the closed-minded, like, heels dug in, here's who I am and here's what I believe. And if you don't believe what I believe, you're wrong. And I'm going to try to convert you to the thing that I believe. They can't even have that thought, right? Like, the mind is so closed to, I'm right, you're wrong, this is black and white. XYZ, whatever it is, whether it's politics or religion. Like, you get into those conversations with people where you're just like, I just don't even know how to talk to you, because you're so closed-minded that we can't even have a real conversation about it. So I love what you said there, because it like works twice.